What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today we're doing another video here on the Ranger. Now in this video we'll just be doing gussets and fully welding all the axles, so it'll be a lot of timeline shots and you know, little things going on here and there and showing you how I do that now that we have the 4 links done. But one thing I want to show you is how to acquire steel. So if you need plate, if you need that, instead of going out and buying it at like a metal supermarket, which actually costs you a lot more money than if you go to a welding shop or a fab shop that's local. Now what you can do is, if you get to know your fab shops, you can pick up steel like I did today. So I picked up a bunch of steel today. Now it's all scraps, but it didn't cost me very much. So we're gonna get it offloaded out of the truck and show you guys what I mean. Alright, so this is what we're able to pick up. So we have these are about 5 feet tall and about 3 feet wide there at the bottom. Now this is 3/16. So we got 2 pieces, identicals. So there's a lot of good steel in those that we're going to use. I got a nice piece here. This is 1/2 inch plate. A little rustier, but still gonna be good if we ever do need 1/2 inch. Then we got this ugly piece here. This is 1/4 inch, but there's a lot of good material in there. And then another little piece of 3/16. Couple nice pieces of 3/8 plate that, you know, these are all scraps, so they used them for something. And then customers don't want their scraps or cuts, so they just keep them, hold them for guys like me. And then we get another lovely piece of 1/2 and another nice piece of 3/8. So it does have some surface rust, but this is pretty much what they have when they pull the, you know, they pull their plate out. So yeah, there's a little bit of rust here and there on them. This is all surface rust, clean right up, and then you'll be left with something somewhat like that. So right here, this is probably, if I had to go buy actual sheets to get the material you see here, probably a couple $1,000s. And we pick it up for little cost, other than, you know, you got to know the right people and you got to do what you got to do. But saves the guy a lot of money doing it this way. So utilize your welding shops, get to know them. Now, no, I didn't just go there off the street. I've known these guys for quite some time, done work with them. I've actually bought lots of material from them. So don't expect any old welding shop to just give you material like this. You're gonna have to build that relationship. But yeah, once you have it, it's awesome. So we're gonna get going. We picked up more shielding gas today. Another thing we gotta do is we gotta build an extension cord. So I picked up some wire. This is 3 by 12, so 12 gauge. Should be good for the amperage we're running with 220. And then I picked up these, so these are wall plugs or just cord ends, 220 welding plugs. Cause that plug I gotta switch out with one of these so it matches what we have over there for our air compressor. And then an extension cord for running with the welder, plus with the pliers, because the pliers only has a really short cord. So this will help us out, but I'll get these made and then I'll set up and we'll time lapse some of this welding for today. So I want to show you guys something. Don't mind the noise, that's just coming from the welder. But I had to get the axle center again, just to get my 4-link bars back in now that we have them properly measured. So now our top bars are fully welded out and they're the same length. So I just welded that little tab on so I could do this. But one thing I'm noticing, and I talked about this in last video, but see that front link tab? It's not quite sitting as true as I want it to. So see, like this one, it's nice and straight, right? This one here, it's kind of turned a weird way. So we're gonna straighten this one out just to give this arm joint a little more play. It's not hard, it's all just tacked on right now, so we're gonna cut that off and redo that one. But top ones are all welded out anyways. And then I gotta pull the bottom still, weld the tubes, and then redo this on the front. So keep doing that, and then we'll move to gussets and whatever. I'm sorry guys, I got distracted. I've been wanting to cut these fenders for like 1.5 years now. Doesn't that look so much more proper? Now yeah, we gotta go in, clean up everything behind those, but so good. Get both sides, and it'll just make it easier for me to climb in and out, do what I have to. But yeah, we have all this stuff that we're gonna go in, clean up, maybe weld shut or figure out. We don't really need a lot of that structure, so we'll get rid of a bunch of it. Woo-wee! Looks so much better. Nice side profile for you guys. Woo-wee! Alright, back to welding. Well, we're on our last two 4-link bars. So what we gotta do here, I want to show you guys how to weld these. Now, this is the process I do. I know there's gonna be a bunch of people in the comments saying I should have done it a different way, yada yada yada. This is what works for me, and this is actually what works for a lot of people. So all we did to tack these, run a nice little tack there, about 1/2 inch on both sides. Now, yes, you should do a 4-corner tack. That'll keep that 100% straight. Now this is almost an interference fit, like this bung into this DOM tubing. So it fits really, really tight, so we don't have to worry about this bung twisting, right? So that's why I did just the 2 corners, or like 180 degrees apart. Do just a nice bevel, so we got a nice opening there to weld into, and just nice, I just walk across. Now something I do, so I don't have a roller, so I can't do a continuous weld the whole way, so I do spots. I make sure that I get as much heat into it, and if I get in an awkward position, I just stop, turn the pipe, start again, of course butter in, and then just do that. So there is stop and starts on mine. I would way rather a stronger weld that's not so pretty than trying to lay down a pretty weld that ends up being weak. So it is what it is. I don't weld for a living. I don't weld pipe like this for a living. So for me to lay down a beautiful weld, it's really tricky. This shit takes practice. Of course, this is the first 4-link stuff we're doing on the channel, so maybe down the road it'll get better, but I can tell you for sure this is the last set, and I'm doing a lot better than the first ones that I did. So I'm gonna set you guys up on the camera, and then I'll just do a full weld on camera on this film, and then yeah, you guys can kind of see the process we're going through. So we have our welder set to about 20 volts. Now you hear a fan in the background, of course the welder, so it's gonna be noisy. But we'll try and lay down this, make it pretty for you guys. If you don't like bright lights, you might want to skip this. So there you go. This is our final product. Now, I do have pretty good welds. I don't suck at this by no means, so there you go. That's how that's done. Now the only other thing is I do copper coat the threads. So take your heim joint and put some copper coat here on the ends. This is all I'm using. Some jet lube. Copper coat them, thread them together, and away you go. And there's your 4-link bars. So another thing you gotta do, but I don't think I've shown you guys, is when you weld these tabs, so when you're mounting stuff, you have to make sure you add washers. So see how there's a washer along with our heim joint? Now that's a crucial thing. And the reason you gotta do that is so when you weld something, you know, the metal's straight up and down. So if you have it with something in between, then as soon as you take that something out, it goes like this. Because the metal shrinks in a little bit. So what you do is you add a washer, usually just because that's something easy, especially if you're doing a mount like a heim joint mount. Just add another washer, and then once you're done completely building everything, now you have that little bit of gap in between, because everything's going to be tight when you pull that out. So it'll shrink a little bit, and then you'll have the perfect amount. You'll be able to slide your heim joint in and out of something, and then you won't have issues. So, as you can tell, all of these have, but like I said, as soon as you pull these out, they'll be under tension, and then if you didn't have that washer, you'll never get this heim joint back into place. So always put a washer. It doesn't matter what you mount. If you're welding 2 flat tabs between and something in between that you got to slide in and out all the time, add a spacer, a washer, whatever. So I'm gonna throw these on, and then I'm pretty much done for today. But we'll continue working on gussets, and you guys will see that next.